Y'all, Candace Owens is completely losing it after one of her closest friends, Charlie Kirk, was taken out yesterday. Charlie and Candace go way back, and from what we're hearing, she is not handling this well at all. But here's the twist. Through all the chaos, Candace has vowed to get revenge for her friend by exposing what really happened to Charlie. So, does this mean she's about to drop some insane truth bombs on us? And was this really a cover-up for something much bigger? There's a lot going on with this unfortunate situation, so let's break it all down. Here's what we know. Charlie Kirk was attacked while on a campaign tour organized by his group, Turning Point USA, at Utah Valley University. Things started off normal, but during a heated debate with an audience member over policy, everything suddenly spiraled out of control.
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
But then, all of a sudden, a single shot rang out and Charlie was hit in the neck. Several reports claim that the bullet struck his carotid artery, the major artery in the neck. This would explain why he bled out so quickly and why he seemed to lose consciousness almost immediately after being hit. Now here's where things get even darker. People online are saying this was a planned attack. And honestly, it's not hard to believe, considering the number of people who didn't exactly like Kirk. There are even unconfirmed speculations that it could have been a professional hit. Some reports suggest the shooter was nearly 200 yards away. And given that Charlie was a moving target, it makes sense why people suspect this wasn't random. No matter how you feel about Charlie or his politics, this kind of thing is never okay. He had a lot of fans, but also just as many people who despised what he stood for. At the end of the day, we should all be able to have dialogue and debate without anyone losing their life. To make matters even worse, reports now say that his wife, Erika, and their 2 kids were in the audience when it happened. This is heartbreaking, especially considering how young their children are. Their daughter just turned 3, and their son just turned 1. Not only did they lose their father and Erika, her husband, but they saw it happen live. That level of trauma is unimaginable. But here's the thing. Despite how tragic this is, not everyone feels sympathy for Charlie. People have been digging up his old tweets and controversial comments. And let's just say, some of it does not paint him in the best light. One clip circulating online shows him saying he would let his daughter carry a pregnancy full term, even if she had been assaulted.
So if you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got, and she was gonna give birth
and
she would, no wait, oh, and she was gonna give birth and she was gonna live. Would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
It's no, but it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes, the baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So
In another video, he claimed that Black people were better off during slavery and subjugation before the 1940s.
It shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000 Black men, women, and children were in violent lynch mobs.
That's your explanation, but
racial terror permeated American culture for hundreds of years.
Black America is worse than it has been
that affected
in the last 80 years.
The generational psyche of an entire group of people?
Well, I'm sure it did. I'm not discounting that.
In an interview, he was quoted as saying that deaths are unfortunately worth it to protect the Second Amendment. Many people now find this statement deeply ironic, given what happened to him. Over the years, he made a number of comments and took positions that rubbed people the wrong way. Just 2 days before his death, the outlet Jezebel even published an article claiming they had hired 2 Etsy witches to curse him. One part of the article read, "After placing my first spell, make everyone hate him, I was left with more questions than answers. How long would it take to work? Should I have splurged for a pricier spell to make it faster?" Shortly after, the witch messaged me, trying to upsell me a $50 spell booster. When I asked what it did, she explained that it would amplify the energy of the main spell, or I could just let it unfold in its natural timing. I decided to trust the witch's will. Now, whether it was the so-called spell booster or just an insane coincidence, the timing was shocking. To be fair though, they condemned the act of violence and distanced themselves from it. But the story highlights just how strongly people felt about Charlie, and not in a positive way. For example, one person tweeted, Not having empathy for someone who didn't extend it to others is a normal human reaction. You're not obligated to manufacture sorrow or empathy for anyone. Should it have happened? No. Does everyone have to feel bad? Also, no. That said, many people do feel terrible for his wife and kids. Still, others point out that Charlie himself often dismissed the idea of empathy altogether.
I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage.
This entire situation has turned into a toxic and chaotic mess. Several prominent political figures, both Republicans and Democrats, have publicly spoken out. Former President Donald Trump tweeted, "The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or connected with the youth of the United States better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife Erika and their family. Charlie, we love you." Barack Obama also released a statement. "We don't yet know what motivated the person who attacked Charlie Kirk, but this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. Michelle and I will be praying for Charlie's family tonight, especially his wife Erika and their 2 young children." Joe Biden tweeted, "There is no place in our country for this kind of violence. It must end now. Jill and I are praying for Charlie Kirk's family and loved ones." Vice President Kamala Harris added, "I am deeply disturbed by what happened in Utah. Doug and I send our prayers to Charlie Kirk and his family. Let me be clear, political violence has no place in America. I condemn this act, and we all must work together to ensure this does not lead to more violence." But when it comes to Candace Owens, she's taking it especially hard. As soon as news of the attack broke, she tweeted, "Everyone, please stop what you are doing and pray for Charlie Kirk, please." She and Charlie were very close. They sat on multiple panels together, toured together, and frequently spoke at the same events.
To somebody who I know because I don't know you.
Some future president.
Donald Trump Jr. Yeah, Donald Trump Jr. My question is, how do you support your father for the things that he said, such as he believes that you should grab women by the...
He didn't say that. I want to say something. I want to say something. Let me do it.
That's a ridiculous question, first and foremost. Because I'm sure you've never said anything bad in your life.
Are you mad? I'm sure. But you just called liberals.
So, yeah, she felt absolutely devastated about it. At the time she made that first tweet, Charlie hadn't actually passed away yet. The incident happened around 12:20 p.m., according to Reuters, after which he was rushed to a local hospital. He was listed in critical condition and taken into surgery. Unfortunately, he didn't survive. After his death was confirmed, Candace tweeted, "I can't process this." But soon after, her focus shifted to demanding the truth and calling for a deeper investigation. One Twitter user posted something suspicious, writing, "A private jet under the tail number N88KG left Provo Airport an hour after the incident. Suspiciously, about 30 minutes into the flight, it dropped off ADS-B illegally and reappeared headed back to Provo approximately an hour later. Why did this plane turn off its radar? Where did it go?" Candace directly replied to this, saying, "If anybody knows anything about this, please comment below or email tips@candowens.com. She also made it clear that she doesn't believe the shooter acted alone, tweeting, "I can't believe this is real. Who called the hit on Charlie? We need answers." From her response, it's obvious she's not going to stop until she gets to the bottom of what really happened. Meanwhile, the FBI has announced they are fully involved in the investigation. In their official statement, they said, "As soon as we heard about the incident, special agents and personnel from the Salt Lake City field office responded immediately. We have full resources devoted to this investigation, including tactical, operational, investigative, and intelligence support. To be clear, the FBI will fully support and co-lead this investigation alongside our partners." This is a heartbreaking story, but what do you think? Was this a random act of violence or something much bigger? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and then check out the next video.